We're following breaking news as we come on the air tonight. Richmond police officer Sierra Burton will be taken off life support tomorrow. Now, Officer Burton was shot on August 10th responding to a traffic stop. She was taken by care flight from Richmond to Miami Valley Hospital, where she has been ever since. Now, the Richmond Police Department sharing a statement on their Facebook page tonight. They say Burton's injuries have been deemed unrecoverable, despite the very best efforts of all the doctors and nurses that have been working tirelessly to keep her alive. They say in part, quote, Sierra will live on and continue to be a hero with her selfless gift of organ donation. The incredible outpouring of support has been truly heartwarming. Funeral arrangements will be released in the coming days.
Tonight, the Dayton area's only abortion clinic is planning to shut its doors. The Women's Med Center has served Montgomery County for decades now. It says the heartbeat bill, which bans abortions after 6 weeks, has made it difficult to operate and greatly limited the number of people it could help. Mamie Baugh is live outside that center tonight. And Mamie, what's the timeline for its closure?
Well, it plans on closing in the next couple of months. This center behind me and the one in Indiana, I'm told they work closely together, and that since the heartbeat bill went into effect, a lot of patients have been referred there because abortions are legal in that state up until 13 weeks. But things are going to change because come September 15th, abortion will be outlawed in Indiana, except in certain cases, incest, rape, the mother's life being put in danger, or the baby. And so at this location, abortions will stop on September 15th, but at the Indiana location, the deadline for abortions to stop would be September 14th before that law goes into effect. And I'm told both facilities will remain open up until mid-October to provide op-ed care.
So, Mamie, where will the center be referring patients now?
Well, the center will be referring patients to Chicago. They tell me, as you just mentioned earlier, Megan, that the heartbeat bill has really made it difficult to operate. They've only been seeing about 10 people a week, which is a lot lower than what they used to see. Now, this is a termination facility solely, and they've been assisting in the Dayton, Montgomery County area for at least 35 years.
We are very saddened by the current situation and the fact that the lawmakers, who really know nothing about medicine for the most part, have decided that they're going to control women's lives.
Now, coming up at 6:30, we'll hear a reaction from both sides. We know a lot of people always are standing out here protesting. We'll be speaking with them later on. Back to you.
Mamie, thank you. Today is International Overdose Awareness Day, and America has got an uphill battle to fight still. According to the CDC, 92,000 people died from drug overdoses in 2020. That makes it a leading cause of injury-related death in the country. And provisional CDC data from 2021 shows about 100,000 overdose deaths. An addiction medical specialist at Ohio State says one of the best things that you can do to help your loved ones is start a conversation, give support.
Addiction is a heavily stigmatized health condition, and that causes so many people to suffer in silence. And so if you are suffering, or if someone you know has addiction, please encourage them to reach out for evidence-based treatment, because treatment works and people can recover.
All 50 states allow you to get naloxone without a prescription. That's a life-saving drug used to reverse an opioid overdose. Symptoms to know are vomiting, confusion, and convulsions. And Ohio is observing Overdose Awareness Day, and Governor DeWine wants to help make it easier to get naloxone to everyone. He's launching a new website tonight, naloxone.ohio.gov. That's going to try to make it easier to get the life-saving drug to people for free. The website, relatively easy to use, it's open to the entire community. It also includes prevention and treatment information and resources that are there to help. Montgomery County Adamus is already getting started by arming the community with naloxone. They held a free distribution of Project Dawn kits at Riverscape this afternoon. Now, Dawn stands for Deaths Avoided with Naloxone and is a network of opioid overdose education and naloxone distribution through the Ohio Department of Health. Project Dawn covers nearly every county of Ohio. In each kit, a pair of gloves, 2 doses of naloxone, plus recovery and treatment resources.
Narcan is what's going to keep our folks alive long enough to get into a treatment program and to hopefully beat the addiction.
The Adamus board wants to ensure that everyone is carrying a Narcan kit because you never know when someone might need it. And to honor the lives lost to overdose and to recognize and raise awareness today, Governor DeWine has ordered all U.S. and state flags to be flown at half-staff until sunset tonight.
All right, another hot day here in the Miami Valley. Natalie, I'm loving all the sun. My grass definitely feels otherwise pretty brown at this point. Any rain on the way?
We got a little rain on the way, but it's not a whole lot. As we head into this weekend, we will be tracking some shower chances. Until then, lots of sunshine is really what we're going to be focusing on. Right now, blue skies on our Kettering Hill sky cam. Hardly a cloud in the sky through most of the day today. Temperatures right around 80 degrees. Dew point very comfortable, sitting in the mid 50s. So it's just really nice out there with those temperatures across the area. 70s and 80s, 80 Dayton, 80 in Troy, 77 up in Bellefontaine with those dew points there in the 50s too. 54 again for that dew point in Dayton. But a nice comfortable evening, dropping to around 60 with a mostly clear sky. I'll have the rest of the week's forecast coming up.
Natalie, thanks so much. COVID shots targeting the Omicron subvariants could be administered within days. The FDA has approved the tweaked Moderna and Pfizer vaccines that target the latest variants of the virus. The new boosters are only for people who've been fully vaccinated with the primary shots. Pfizer's vaccine is for anyone 12 years and older, and Moderna's is for those 18 and up. The White House has ordered 175 million doses. They're going to start going into arms once the CDC gives its approval.
The Department of Justice says classified documents of former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home were deliberately concealed from the FBI. In a court filing, the DOJ says it has evidence documents were, quote, likely concealed and removed from a storage room at the former president's estate. Prosecutors say the move is likely done to obstruct the FBI's investigation into former President Trump's handling of classified materials. You'll remember the FBI recovered more than 100 classified documents from Mar-a-Lago during its search earlier this month. Many labeled top secret /SCI. That's the nation's most highly sensitive intel classification. Former President Trump says some of the documents are covered by executive privilege. Ford is issuing a major recall tonight, impacting hundreds of thousands of pickups. Megan is at the Now Desk, so what is the issue here?
Well, Adam, Ford is recalling 277,000 pickup trucks across the country because of cloudy rear view cameras. We're told an anti-reflective lens on those cameras can actually degrade, causing a cloudy image. The recall affects Ford F-250s, 350s, and 450 trucks, as well as the Lincoln Continental from 2017 to 2020. Ford says it's already received nearly 9,000 warranty reports on the problem here in the U.S. Dealers are going to be replacing the camera at no cost to owners. The company does plan to notify owners by September 12th.
A 20-year-old black man shot and killed by Columbus police in his bed. Donovan Lewis was sitting up in bed in compliance with police commands when he was killed. Police earlier said they believe Lewis had a gun, but all he had was a vape pen. And now we're seeing the body camera footage for the first time. Luann Stoya explains the city's recent deadly trend.
Columbus police releasing body camera video of 3 officer-involved shootings that occurred in 8 days. Reaction is coming in from across the community. Take a look at body cam from a CPD officer early Tuesday. The Urban League says hearts and prayers go out to the family of Donovan Lewis, who was shot and killed by an officer as they tried to serve a warrant at his apartment. The president telling us, as the community mourns, yesterday's shooting evokes painful and conflicting responses. A pastor with the First Church of God, Timothy Clark, says he is not shocked but saddened by the shootings. Clark hoping the release of video will provide transparency. The Urban League says they're putting together a community forum that will be held Saturday that hopefully will put a path forward to healing between Columbus community and police. I'm Luann Stoya reporting.
Luann, thank you. Senator Sherrod Brown here in Dayton to host a roundtable with local veterans. Now, this comes after President Biden recently signed the PACT Act into law. The legislation's full title names Sergeant First Class Heath Robinson, a Central Ohio veteran who passed away at the age of 39 from lung cancer in 2020 after being exposed to burn pits in Iraq. Brown worked with Robinson's family to get the legislation through the Senate and then on to the president.
No more excuses from now on. Any veteran that goes to the Dayton VA or goes over to Columbus or goes to their local community-based outpatient clinic, they will get the kind of coverage from the VA that they have earned if they have any one of these 23 illnesses.
Senator Brown says he now wants to work with veterans in our state to secure access to the Department of Veterans Affairs Healthcare and Disability Benefits.
Well, the city of Centerville just announcing a football fan fest by Loose Ends Brewing Company to celebrate the kickoff of the college football season. This Saturday at Stubbs Park, you can watch Ohio State face off against Notre Dame on a huge jumbotron. The event starts at 6, and there's also going to be live music, food trucks, and activities for the kids. Did we mention it's all free, too? The first 1,500 attendees will get a free stadium cup. The first 500 people are also going to get a city barbecue coupon. Loose Ends Brewing Company will have craft beer for sale, with the proceeds benefiting the Centerville Boosters Club. And if you bring some school supplies, you can stuff the bus and help a local nonprofit provide free supplies to teachers in our area. And we're proud to partner with the city of Centerville to put on this special event. You can find all this information right now in the web version of this story on Dayton247now.com.
The jury in the state's biggest murder trial taking a field trip of sorts. We'll explain what they saw after the break.
And remember those 4,000 beagles saved from a breeding facility in Virginia? Well, a bunch of them are now right here in the Miami Valley. How they're doing and when you could meet them.
Plus, I'm tracking warm days ahead and eventually some rain back in the forecast. That's coming up. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
As much needed rain falls near San Antonio, a viewer spotted this bird waiting out a storm in a relatively dry spot. The region is officially still more than a foot below average for rainfall this year. And some beautiful rainbows were spotted in central New York State. They've been more frequent this year because of an increase in passing showers and thunderstorms, followed by sunshine afterwards at just the right angle.
For more content like this, follow the National Weather Desk on Twitter.
The jury that's deciding the fate of one of the men charged in the murders of 8 people in 2016 is just finishing up a tour of the crime scenes in Pike County. James Pilcher went along with the jurors as they get ready to hear the case of George Wagner IV, tells us what they saw.
Starting early this morning, the 12 jurors and 6 alternates in the murder case against George Wagner IV piled into a school bus for a field trip of a darker note, seeing the actual sites where the massacre of 8 people took place 6 years ago. The judge swore in those jury members Wednesday morning right before they started their tour. The first stop, Chris Roden Sr.'s property. That's where prosecutors allege George Wagner, his brother Jake, and his father Billy killed him and Roden's cousin Gary. Just down the road is where Chris's son Frankie and his fiancee Hazel Gilly were killed in a separate trailer. Their 2 young children were left there alive. The tour also veered into Scioto County to drive by the site of where Chris Sr.'s brother Ken Roden was killed in his camper. The final stop of the morning was where Chris Roden's ex-wife Dana was found dead, along with their son Chris Jr. and Hannah Roden, with her newborn child left alive at the scene. Hannah Roden also had a daughter with George's younger brother Jake. Prosecutors allege the custody battle over that child is what spurred the murders. Jake Wagner and mother Angela Wagner have already pleaded guilty to either carrying out the killings or helping plot the crime. Back to you guys.
Well, a nice one across the Miami Valley, lower humidity. Still a warm afternoon, though, with lots of sunshine across the area, too. Satellite and radar showing hardly anything going on. Just a few cumulus clouds around the area. Active weather has made its way well off to the east with that cold front that made its way through the region yesterday. So this is what we're tracking, though. Looking through time, quiet tonight, mostly clear skies. Tomorrow, getting a little bit warmer. We will start to see a little bit more cloud cover developing by our Thursday afternoon. By Friday, even more in the way of cloud cover, but I think we'll remain dry on Friday. It's not until Saturday we will start to track a chance for some showers across the area. We'll be tracking some rain, maybe even some thunderstorms as we head into our Saturday. So I'm going to track that and look at your 7-day coming up in a bit.
Natalie, thanks. There's a huge water crisis happening now in Jackson, Mississippi. Recent flooding, along with years of water system issues, means more than 150,000 people don't have enough water to fight fires, flush toilets, have AC, bathe, or even drink. Jackson's main water treatment facility began failing Monday, though residents have been under a boil advisory since July. The National Guard called to help distribute bottled water as crews work to get that treatment facility back online. People waited in miles-long lines for hours in 90-degree heat just to get one case for their families.
This is the accumulation of years and years of accumulated problems, challenges that we have been lifting up for the better part of 3 to 4 years. I've been saying that it's not a matter of if our system would fail, but when our system would fail.
State and federal resources are headed to that city after President Biden declared a state of emergency. The mayor says they're hopeful they can restore water by the end of the week. Today marks 25 years since Princess Diana was killed in a car crash in Paris. Megan is at the Now desk, so how is the somber anniversary being marked today?
Yeah, Adam, flowers and mementos are now being left at that crash site. It was eventually determined Diana's chauffeur was drunk and speeding when her car hit a beam in that tunnel. They were fleeing paparazzi at the time. Just last July, her sons William and Harry unveiled a statue of the Princess of Wales in the United Kingdom. Diana, of course, devoted her life to multiple charities, including helping the homeless and disabled children and people living with HIV and AIDS.
Well, there are many lessons that we learn in a classroom, but sometimes being outside of it could even be more impactful. A group of University of Dayton students lived that experience this past summer. They're putting their engineering skills to work to help area nonprofits and learn invaluable skills.
I love just improving things, but in unique ways.
So tonight at 10 on Fox and 11 on ABC, we'll introduce you to the students making a difference and the nonprofits grateful for their support.
A group of beagles are getting forever homes after being saved from a Virginia breeding facility. Courtney Wheaton spent some time with the pups that ended up in our area and are now going to join local families.
I'm at the Humane Association of Warren County, where 10 beagles are being adopted. Now, there are just a couple of the 4,000 that were taken from a breeding facility in Virginia and brought here. First, they were brought to Columbus, and now they were brought to Lebanon. And about a dozen people lined up this morning, really to check them out and see them and adopt them. If you look behind me, you can see a few are still left, and they're getting to know people in the community, which is just so sweet. Now, these beagles have had a very hard life. Some of them have never been outside of a breeding facility, so they don't even know what it's like to be out in the sun or, experience grass. And somebody I talked to earlier, she actually came here around 6:45 in the morning just to be here from Columbus to receive one of these sweet pups.
So I was relieved to know that I was the first one here, but yeah, I'm really happy that there's so many people
that want these beagles. Now they say if you can't adopt, you can still help by donations. These beagles still need to be neutered and spayed, and it just really helps with making sure they are prepared to go home to a loving family. In Lebanon, Courtney Wheaton, back to you.
Courtney, thank you. And 15 of those beagles have now arrived in Dayton to find their forever homes. They're being housed at the Humane Society of Greater Dayton. We're told they're mostly adults and all females. The dogs are being examined by vets right now and receiving all the proper care they need. They'll be spayed or neutered, microchipped, and fully vaccinated before they're ready for adoption, hopefully by Saturday. The Humane Society says they're in great shape considering what they've been through.
They're doing well. I mean, they are really nice dogs, even though they haven't had a lot of socialization when it comes to what we consider a house or a family type of environment. But they're wonderful.
The Humane Society says there's been a lot of interest in the beagles, but they encourage people to meet some of the other great pups waiting for homes at the shelter as well.
And talk about a great night for a dog walk. Natalie, I was out this afternoon in the sun. Very different than it feels right now that we're out here in the shade. Completely comfortable.
Very nice.
A little windy.
Yeah, little breeze. Lower humidity, though. That's the big difference that you're going to feel as you're out and about. But we are going to see things warm back up, unfortunately.
And more moisture moving in, right?
That's right. And eventually some rain will be back in the mix, too. But let's take a look at what we saw for August, because it is the last day of August. We start meteorological fall for tomorrow. Now, those days, not correct right there, but let's take a look at what we're expecting as we do head into these next several days. We are going to be seeing above normal temperatures. This is actually the temperature outlook for the 6th to the 10th, indicating above normal temperatures, looking pretty likely across the Miami Valley and in fact much of the United States even as we look into the longer term. So we're going to start out the month of September and meteorological fall on the warmer side. I'll have a look at that 7-day coming up here in just a bit.
A new room is now open at the Boone Museum of Discovery. Still ahead, we'll give you a tour of that new exhibit and show you what you and your family could see. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
the Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
The Boone Shop Museum of Discovery is opening a new permanent exhibit. Nathan Edwards takes us inside to show us around.
Hello, friends. We're hanging out in the brand new Beiser Room of Wonders. I feel like this is a blast from the past, and I'm hanging out in an Indiana Jones movie right now. It is so cool in here, and there's so much to see. They have stuff about animals. They got stuff about geology, astrology, world travels. I mean, there's so many pieces from the museum's collection, which has over 1.8 million pieces in it, and this is just a great way to showcase it. Now, the Beiser family had this space renovated so it'd feel more like the 1800s version of the museum that used to be on the 3rd floor of the Dayton Metro Library. Super kid friendly, tons to see. I brought my 5-year-old down here over the weekend. He absolutely loved it, and I think you will too. So come on down to the Boone Shop. It's great family fun, and check out some of the wonders here in this beautiful room.
Well, you got a great evening tomorrow for some football. Thursday night lights. I'm going to be out there with your weather forecast during the football game. Here's a look at Thursday night lights forecast for Milton Union versus Oakwood. We're talking about temperatures that are going to be in the 80s through the evening, dropping into the 70s eventually, and then quiet weather, rain free again for our Thursday. But we do start to see some rain back in the forecast by this weekend. In fact, starting to look a little bit more likely on Saturday that we could see some more showers, but right now I do have pop-up showers in the forecast. It will be warm, highs in the upper 80s, and then eventually back down into the mid 80s as we head into the weekend or start of next week. Rain chances really Saturday through Monday that we'll be monitoring, with temperatures that are overall above normal as we head into the month of September. It's going to feel a little bit more like August.
All right, Natalie, thanks. And thanks for being with us tonight. Remember, you can always connect with us on social media. We are headed over to Fox 45 next. Good night.